Hello, here's the second video, some more examples of parabolas. So if you already know how to find the vertex, the range, and increasing and decreasing intervals, you don't need to watch this because that's all we're doing. I'm going to do two examples. Okay, so the first example is already written down. F of x equals negative 1/2 x squared plus 5x minus 8. Our first goal is to find the vertex and decide if it's a maximum or minimum. Then we've got to find the range, and then we have to find the increasing and decreasing intervals. Remember that when we do the range, this is all about the y, and the increasing and decreasing intervals is all about the x. Okay, so here we go. Let me change back to a different color. All right, so the vertex, remember we find the axis of symmetry. Remember in the last video we said AOS for axis of symmetry, and that's x equals negative b over 2a. And that is negative 5 over 2 times negative 1/2, because that's a. And so that's going to be just plain Jane 5. Okay, so x equals 5. Good. And now to find, that's the x coordinate for my vertex. So now I have to find the y value by doing f of 5. So f of 5 equals negative 1/2 times 5 squared plus 5 times 5 minus 8. And if I use my calculator for that, it says that that's going to be 4.5. So my vertex is the point 5, comma 4.5. All right, now is it a maximum or a minimum? Remember, we go back to the a value and we look right here, and since a is negative, we know that it opens down. So a is negative 1/2, which means it opens down, so it's going to look like this in a very sketchy sort of parabola. Here's my vertex. So is that a maximum or a minimum? It is a maximum. Okay, so now I should do my range. So my range is going to go below the y value. So my range is y is less than or equal to the y value, because that's all about the y, which is the 4.5. So that's my range. So I've got a vertex, which is a maximum, and I have the range. Now I just have to decide what are my increasing and decreasing intervals. Okay, so this side, the left side, that's going to be increasing. So remember, those are all about the x ones. So the increasing interval, remember this is not a point but an interval, is going to go from negative infinity to whatever the x value is, and the x value is 5. And then the decreasing interval is the other one. Decreasing interval is the other side, which starts at 5 and goes to infinity. So there you have it. We have on this other side, let me just go ahead and highlight it because I can. So this side over here, that's my decreasing side. I always like to make a little sketch of the parabola just to make sure I have the increasing and decreasing right, because again, very visual. So for me, it's very helpful if I draw a little picture of it so it makes sense to my brain. Okay? You have to be able to find all of those things on your next test. Okay, so let's do one more example, and here it is. Remember, we're trying to find the vertex, decide if it's a max or min, the range, and we're trying to find the increasing and decreasing intervals. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is find the vertex, which means I'm going to find the axis of symmetry, which is x equals negative b over 2a, which is negative 4 over 2 times a, which is 1. So this axis of symmetry is negative 2. All right, and I know you can find most of this with your calculator, but it's always nice to be able to double check the calculator, or if it's a fraction on my calculator, make sure I can do it this way. Alright, so that's my x value. Now I need to find the y value, which is f of negative 2. So I plug negative 2 in for x. So negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 minus 5. And my calculator says that that is negative 9. So that means my vertex is the point negative 2 comma negative 9. Okay, and now this time the parabola, because the a is positive, it opens up like this. So that means this vertex is a minimum because it's at the bottom, minimum. And so now when I look at this side, oh, we're supposed to do range. Sorry. So the range is now going to be greater than, so the range is going to be y is greater than or equal to the y value, which is negative 9. And now, this side over, now I can go back to the part I was doing. This side, the left side of the parabola now is the decreasing side, and the right part of the parabola is the increasing side. Remember, those are all about the x values. So decreasing interval is from negative infinity to the x value, which was negative 2, my axis of symmetry, and my increasing is the other side of that, which is from negative 2 to infinity. And that's it.